They did not come to conquer. The Threshold Compact came to watch humanity break. Their ultimatum arrived in perfect, patient English, the kind of English that had been rehearsed for decades. This transfer of sovereignty carries no penalty for compliance and no mercy for delay. You have 4 days to submit your formal surrender. We understand this will be difficult for you. The document was 14 pages long. 11 of those pages were dedicated to describing, in exhaustive bureaucratic detail, exactly how humanity's grief should be processed once terms were accepted. Ambassador Mara Okonkwo-Reyes read all 14 pages twice. Then she laughed, not the panicked laugh of someone breaking, but the low, genuine laugh of a woman who has just realized her opponent has shown her their entire hand. First Voice Sananer's response arrived 9 minutes later, and for the first time in the transcript logs, it was not perfectly composed. We do not understand your reaction. 4 words, no rehearsal in them at all. Mara had spent 20 years across negotiating tables from hostage-takers who wanted her afraid, because fear was information, and information was leverage. She had never once given it to them. She was not about to start with a species that had built its entire foreign policy around reading despair like a thermometer. "They've never met anyone who refused to be scared," she said, to a mostly empty room. "That's not a diplomatic problem, that's a design flaw." The room was not empty for long. Dr. Priya Anand arrived first, carrying 6 months of intercepted compact communications that the analysis division had dismissed as untranslatable noise. She had once written a paper arguing the noise was structured, and had been quietly removed from 3 separate research committees for insisting on it. She spread the transcripts across the table without asking permission because she had stopped asking permission around the second committee. "It's not noise," she said. "It's telemetry. Every compact communication carries an embedded fear response signature, pupil dilation proxies, vocal stress markers, submission language density. Their AI doesn't negotiate with words. It negotiates with the emotional state underneath the words." She went quiet for a moment, staring at a waveform on her screen, because the shape of it had just told her something the words hadn't. "Ambassador, when you laughed, their system logged an error. Not a low-fear reading, an impossible reading. Their model doesn't have a category for it." Marcus Ibe arrived next, uninvited, holding a legal pad covered in equations that no one else in the room could immediately parse. He had been called the man who solves wars with spreadsheets by exactly one furious general, and had framed the insult. He did not sit down before speaking. "Their ultimatum is a game tree," he said. "Every branch assumes we respond with escalating fear, compliance, negotiation, resistance. Every path is scored against how frightened we sound doing it. If we don't generate a fear signature at all, the tree has no valid branch to follow. Their AI isn't just confused, it's unable to select a move." He sat down slowly, the way a man sits down when he has just understood the size of something. This isn't a metaphor. Their targeting doctrine runs on the same architecture. If a human crew doesn't read as afraid, their weapons systems don't know how to prioritize the shot. Yuki Tanaka came last, and she came holding a single word, because compact linguistics did not have a category for what humanity had just done to them. "There is no threshold word for laughter used as refusal," she said. "There is only laughter used as collapse. Their entire species conflates the two. When Ambassador Okonkwo-Reyes laughed at their ultimatum, their translation engine had exactly one entry to reach for." She paused. It logged it as a psychotic break. Mara did not smile at that. She filed it. 71 hours later, First Voice Sananer's fleet arrived with a correction protocol, because a species that could not be read as afraid was, by compact doctrine, a malfunctioning species in need of demonstration. The formal notice was polished as ever. "We regret the necessity of this measure. It is, we assure you, an act of compassion." Mara read it once and did not laugh this time. She picked up a headset instead. "Priya, Marcus. Build me a lie their censors will believe." They had 71 hours become 19. It was enough. The compact fleet crossed the threshold line at 612 vessels. Their weapons doctrine required a locked fear state before firing, a design choice that had never once failed them, because no one had ever refused to supply the input. Human crews did not supply it. Comms across 4 ships opened with laughter, low and unforced, engineered from Anand's telemetry models to read as genuine because it was genuine. Soldiers laughing at their own recorded jokes, played on loop, layered under real voices. Marcus's exploit did the rest. 12 targeting arrays searched for a fierce signature that did not exist and found instead a contradiction their doctrine had no branch for. 4 ships' weapons failed to lock. 3 more hesitated 2 full seconds past their firing window. 2 seconds at those velocities was a lifetime. 1 compact vessel adapted. Its captain overrode the fearlock manually and fired blind. And for 11 seconds the battle looked almost even, until a human pilot rolled the Amundsen under its arc and answered with a shot that had nothing clever about it at all, just distance, timing, and a gun that worked exactly the way it was built to. 1 ship broke off and ran. Myra watched it go on the display and did not order pursuit. "Let it report back," she said. "Let them hear what it sounds like." The battle lasted 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Sananur's next transmission did not arrive through the official channel. It arrived alone, unpolished, 4 hours late, the kind of late that meant someone had needed time before they could speak. There was silence before he spoke at all. Then, "Your species' response was audacious." Another pause. "We assumed a mind that did not fear us could not fear anything, and had therefore already lost the capacity to value survival. We were wrong. You value it enough to refuse us the satisfaction of watching you afraid." Myra read the message twice, the way she had read the ultimatum twice, 4 days and a war ago. Then she opened a return channel, not to gloat, because gloating was a fear response too, and she had no interest in handing them one now. "We'll want your threat assessment archive," she said, "not as tribute, as tuition. You clearly need better teachers." By the time the compact's answer came back, Priya was already 3 transcripts deep into their older communications, looking for the next place the pattern broke.